Aloha everybody and welcome to part 23 of Mega Man Legends 2. And now we're on the moon, aka Elysium, and we're heading to the end of the game.
Alright, I'll spot for you, Mega Man. I know Elysium like the back of my hand.
Well, I'd hope so. You were the mother unit. I would hope you would know the layout of this place, thanks. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the Shining Laser! Oh my god, I love the Shining Laser so much! Oh! Now, I didn't have enough Zenny to max out its attack or its energy, but trust me, it has plenty of power, it has plenty of energy.
The floor is thinner in that spot. If you increase the relative gravity, you should be able to break through it.
And so now we're coming up to the gimmick with Elysium, and the gimmick here is that, well, let's have Yuna explain it by coming up to this pink laser wall.
What you see in front of you is a gravity field. The relative gravity on the other side of the entrance is heavier. You should remember all this, Mega Man.
Even though she says it in a way that implies that only one side of the room is affected by the gravity, it affects Mega Man when he goes through it. So, like, now gravity is super heavy, and if I go back to the room with the thin floor, well, I smash through it! And, gravity is super heavy now. So it's got a unique gimmick where you lower and increase the gravity, making you lighter or heavier, and allowing you to jump higher and do other things. And, I actually like it. It's not overused, and it's a pretty fun gimmick to this dungeon, so yeah.
If you lower the relative gravity, you'll be able to jump higher than normal. If you increase the gravity, your jumping ability will be proportionately decreased. But you already knew that, didn't you? You can also use that control panel to download information about Elysium.
Whenever you come up to a gravity panel, I would always recommend just make it lower. Never make it heavier, just make it lower. It allows you to jump so much higher and lets you move around a little bit faster. And there's a lot of parts where you'll come up to a treasure chest that you can only reach by jumping high, or a certain door won't unlock unless the gravity is super low. So there's really no reason to make the gravity heavier or anything. Just make it lower anytime you come up to one of these things. And when you come through a field like that, the laser wall, well, you'll pass through it and gravity will switch to whatever, and there's not much you can do about that. So, yeah. Either way, folks, this place has all kinds of Reaver bots we've seen throughout the entire game, including those trap ones that I hate oh so much from the volcano. Luckily, they're not throughout this place. They're only in a few set pieces, but they're annoying jerks, let me tell you. They're annoying jerks. It's a good thing I upgraded my Mega Buster to have max attack, max range, max rapid, because it's going to help me out so much. So, part 21 and part 22 were very plot heavy, and I imagine some people watching these videos are a little bit confused as to what's going on with the plot, and what exactly we've discovered, and what exactly we've learned. So, I'll start it off by making it simple. Mega Man was created Mega Man Trigger. He was not born Mega Man Volnut, he was created Mega Man Trigger. He is a purifier unit of Elysium, and he was a friend of the Master. The Master is the last original human being that the Earth ever had. All the people we see on the Earth, Tronbon, Roll, Barrel, they are all artificial humans created by the ancients known as carbons. They still are humans for the most part, you know, they're still flesh, they still go old, they still have emotions and all that stuff, so they may as well be humans. It's just they aren't originally humans. They were genetically created by the ancients and stuff, and the Master was the last remaining one. But the Master, he was being kept alive by technology for 3,000 years, and he got really tired of it, and he was just like, Mega Man, I'm done with this, I want to go to Terra, I want to pass on, I want this to end. And Mega Man, being a good friend, decided, alright, you know, I can imagine the hell you're going through being alive for so long. Let's do it. But by bringing him to Terra and getting him killed, I guess he couldn't breathe in the air or something. I don't know why it killed him, but I guess the air in Elysium was keeping him alive for 3,000 years or something. I don't know. But the Master died, and then Sera and Yuna decided that, you know, Trigger is a aberrant unit, aka a maverick. And Trigger was originally the guy who hunted down aberrant units. He's supposed to be the maverick hunter, essentially, of Elysium. And he went and he got the Master killed. He got the human being killed, so that's not good. Yuna decided that Mega Man must have had a reason for doing it, and maybe it was the Master's wishes, so she sort of backed off on it and decided to get a little second opinion on it. Sera, however, decided that no, Mega Man is a maverick. He's an aberrant unit. We have to kill him. So she went down to Earth, and she fought Mega Man, and they fought to a standstill until their bodies were both destroyed. And Yuna decided to lock them away in stasis fields. Sera on Forbidden Island, Mega Man on Nino Island, and their bodies reset. You know, Mega Man was a boy. He grew up to be a 14-year-old when Beryl found him. And I assume Sera was a young girl when she was in a stasis field too. That's why she looks like a 14-year-old as well. So, anywho, now Sera, finally freed from her stasis field, along with Yeats, the other guy in there, they decided that, you know what? We're going to have this guy, Trigger, who has amnesia, go look for the 4 keys that will activate the carbon reinitialization program. And then we're going to burn this planet to the ground because the Master's gone, and that's what we have to do. That's our friggin' program. That's how it is, damn it. And, you know, Yuna has been protecting Sera's diamond capsule stasis field for a long time. And that's why in the beginning of the game, she was warning all the reporters on the Sulphur Bottom, if you come near here, we're gonna kill you. You know, if you come near here, we're gonna shoot you down. And it's not because she's evil or anything, it's because she was actually trying to protect humanity. And you even see in the cutscene where Sera is unlocked that Yuna's like, oh, they did it. They've done it. They've decided their own fate because, you know, they just unlocked her. Not much we can do now. So, Sera's not evil, but she is acting in her program to destroy all humans, just like Mega Man Juno did when he saw that Catalox Island had overpopulation. Ain't that fun? So yeah, Mega Man is a purifier unit. I don't know if he's considered a carbon, or if he's some kind of artificial difference from the carbons, or if he's the same. I mean, he still grows old, and he still has skin, and I imagine he has tastes and all that stuff. I imagine he doesn't think he's a robot, so whatever. I assume Mega Man Voln's a carbon. But, yeah, that's basically the plot for the most part. When Mega Man turned into a human, he got his memory erased by Data. And he stored all his memories in there, so that I guess they couldn't track him, or they couldn't... so that Mega Man didn't do something rash. I don't know. I still don't know that part, but now we're on Elysium, and you'll remember in Kalinka Island, there was always that religion about the 2 goddesses, one of the earth, one of the sky. Sera is the goddess of the sky, aka the mother unit of Elysium, and Yuna is the mother unit of Terra, aka the goddess of the ground, the goddess of the earth. So that's where that religion came from. That's where all that stuff came from. As for whether there's actually a mother lode or not, I don't know. It could be hogwash, as they say. Or maybe it does actually exist, and Sera was just using its name to lure people to give her the keys, to trick us. I don't know. Either way, we have to stop Sera, because she's going to kill everybody. Tron, Teasel, Roll, everyone we know and love is going to die, unless we stop the carbon initialization program. That's a mouthful, by the way. And that's where we are. That's what's going on with the plot. In case you didn't get that from the past 2 videos, and if you did, then okay, there you go. Either way, Elysium's not too bad. I mean, at first it's a little bit complicated because every room kind of looks the same, and it can be very easy to look at the hallways and be a little bit confused, especially when you go into rooms that have like 3 doors, or like a hallway that goes in 4 different directions, and then you're just like, oh my god, where am I going? There is a helpful guide filled with maps on GameFAQs. If you want to use a map for Elysium, by all means, it'll make it seem a lot simpler when you're looking at it, but I don't think it's too complicated. It's definitely a big place, and it's definitely one of the bigger dungeons in the game, but I don't think it's to the point where I actually get lost, you know? There's only 2 floors to the section I'm in right now, and then there's a very linear pathway to the final boss of the game. So it's not super complicated or anything, I don't think. As for enemies, the only ones that are new and kind of annoying, well, aside from like the ones guarding the doors, You got these ceiling-crawling guys who shoot red bubbles at you, and when they drop a grenade, it creates a wave effect that you need to jump over in time, and, you know, it can be annoying when you're locking on and the camera's low and you don't know what you're walking into, and then a red bubble can hit you and stuff, but I got the shining laser, so I don't care. I'm not going to use the shining laser on the final boss. I'll fight that final boss fair and square, but you know what? I'm using the shining laser for everything else. I've been missing it, damn it. Roll sold it. She sold it to repair the flutter, but goddammit, it was priceless. Just imagine how much easier Tron's Crabbot on Manda Island would have been if I had the shining laser. I mean, my god. I really like the gravity gimmick. I like the fact that when you stand on certain spots, it actually crushes the floor underneath you, and then you find like a treasure chest or something. That's really fun. I could have easily kept walking and just missed it entirely, because it doesn't start to crack until you've been standing on it long enough. But because I stood in place for a little bit, it started to crack, and then I found 30,000 zenny, and I was just like, yeah! Now that's a fun discovery. That's how you find treasure and stuff. I like it. And again, I don't find the gravity is an overused aspect of this dungeon either. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Just when you're getting tired of it, it does go away. And this dungeon's pretty fun, you know. A little confusing because it's all gray and there's lots of hallways going in a whole bunch of different directions. But it's a good dungeon, you know. I like it. It suits the final dungeon that it's supposed to be. It makes me feel like I'm on the moon in outer space and everything's claustrophobic and dead and ancient and... I want to go home. I don't like it here. This ain't a fun place, okay? I don't like it here at all. You'll be fighting a lot of enemies, and there's not many data save points in between, so... If you're playing on A-class, S-class difficulty, get ready for a long pathway and get ready for a fight. Woocha! As always lower the gravity. Never make it heavier. Make it lighter so Mega Man can always jump over glass panels like that and reach treasure chests like it's nobody's business. And this is also one of those dungeons where a lot of the doors won't open, not only because gravity hasn't been lowered, but also when you get to like the big rooms, you have to kill all the enemies in the room, otherwise the door won't open. I think we're actually coming up to that right now, where I was just in this previous room, right? And I just killed the spider bots walking on the ceiling, and I was like, no, I killed them already, I'm out of here. It's locked. God damn it. You have to kill the Reaver bots or the doors won't open. So when in doubt, if you come up to a series of doors that won't open and it looks like you're trapped in there, that means you gotta kill all the Reaver bots in there. So you're not allowed to just walk by them all like certain dungeons would allow you to, you know? In this place, no. We're adding tight security, we're protecting Elysium, we're letting the mother unit, Mr. Sera, do what she needs to do. Any intruders, any aberrant units, aka Mavericks, are going to be dealt with. Unless they deal with us. In that case, unlock the doors. Because whatever. Like, is the lock actually tied to their bodies, or is it tied to some life sign? Why would it be that way? Just lock him in. Just lock him in. He's not supposed to be here. Just lock him in. You know. But then that game would be awfully short and have a very climactic ending if Mega Man just got trapped in a door and then that was that. But, you know.
Hey! You can use that refractor later.
So yeah, I just found a giant refractor, and that will actually create a shortcut here in Elysium so that I can get from the shuttle pod and where Data and Yuna are to closer to the end of the game a lot easier. So look out for that refractor. It will create a giant shortcut for you when you just want to go back to Terra, let's say. Terra Earth, I don't know. Where did we get that name anyway? Like, we all know our planet as Earth, but like in all the fiction and stuff I've seen, it's also called Terra. Where'd that name come from? I'd be very interested to know where that came from. Was that mythology before we called it Earth or something?
Looks like you've made it to the residential area. Does it bring back any memories?
It might to Mega Man, but it doesn't to us. We've never been here before. But yeah, we're in the residential area, which is a little more complicated than it needs to be, but it's not really. It's where all the people used to live, but I guess no one's home. Like, I don't know if there's anyone left. Apparently, the Master was the last human. I assume there were other units, like purifier units and stuff, right? Maybe? But either way, you look at the map of the residential area, and it's all a series of small islands. And some of them are lit up, some of them are dark, because the dark ones you're not going to be going to. The lit up ones you will be. And each island generally has 4 warp doors. And the ones that don't work, they're just, you know, black and clear, and you don't really use them. But the ones that do work are going to have a rainbow color to them, and that's the ones you're going to be using to transport to all the other islands. So really all you're doing is you're going from island to island, trying to get to the middle island, which is where the Master lives. And occasionally you'll run into Reaver bots, but you can skip by them, you don't need to fight them here. And it can just be kind of annoying if you're not looking at the map. Seriously, look at the map before you come into this place so that you'll get a good idea of where you can go and where you should be going. Basically, you just want to go around the whole thing and get to the east of the middle island, and then go west to the middle island, and you'll be at the Master's house. And that's pretty much it. The main island in the middle is where you want to be, and you have to approach it from the east. It's that simple. As long as you can get to that, you'll be fine. You'll be hunky-dory. But you can't get to the east island of the middle island from the south. You have to go from the north to it, so that's why I'm going around all these islands. And does your brain work? Do you understand what I'm saying? Is this getting too complicated for you? Because I promise you, the dungeon's not nearly as complicated as it looks. We're almost out of it, you know. We're coming up to a very linear part of the game soon. Like, we're almost out of the complicated, labyrinthy, maze-ish kind of stuff. But either way. I'm on the right island, I go left, and now I am on...
That's the building where the Master lived. I'll bet you probably spent a lot of your time there, didn't you?
So yeah, we're on the middle island where the Master lives. And inside there is where the library is, and that's where Miss Sera is hiding. But before that, if you go all the way to the north of the main island, there's this switch control panel here. You put the refractor in, and it will take you to the shuttle bay where Data and Yuna are, and where Gats is, so he can transport you back to Terra if you want to go and, you know, upgrade your weapons with Roll or whoever, because, again, Roll doesn't come with you. She's still in the Flutter down on Earth. So, instant shortcut. I don't ever have to go through that whole dungeon ever again. I just go to this panel, and boom, I'm at the Master's place. Just like that. And the Master's place is where we need to go, so let's go there, huh? Three shots with the maxed out Buster, and these things are dead. I remember these things were like the scariest things on Calbania Island. They would just shave your health so quickly, and they'd run into you and just be like, ugh! But here, nah. I'm fully upgraded now. No problem for me. Well, you're about halfway there, Mega Man. You've done a great job so far. This was the Master's house, you know. If you leave here and go towards the back, there's an elevator that will take you straight back to the shuttle bay. Well, of course I know that. I just ran into you like 10 seconds ago. How'd you beat me here? Jesus. Data, I don't trust you. I still don't trust you. I said that at the end of Legends 1. I don't trust that monkey. But this room will look familiar if you remember in Part 21 when Mega Man was remembering the Master. He was in this room looking at stuff on the monitor, so we've definitely been here before. A long, long time ago. Also, the Master is a guy who may as well be God, and he has long blonde hair. Who else wasn't thinking of ActRaiser?
The gravity's back to normal. Are you ready? Things are going to get a little different from here on. This is it, Mega Man. Good luck!
Alright folks, one last stretch to the end of the game. And you know what was missing from the Legends series that's been in every other Mega Man series ever? A boss rush! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, they're bringing back the boss rush for Mega Man Legends 2, and now we have to fight the 4 Reaverbot Guardians of every single Motherlode Key dungeon all over again. But I'm not going to speed it up this time because, well, Shining Laser. That frog boss from the Manda ruins, dead in an instant. I didn't have to watch him wag his tongue at me. I didn't have to watch him shoot bubbles and stuff. Or do anything, because I just shining laser his mouth, and that's it for him, because the shining laser is the greatest weapon of all mankind. Oh my god, the shining laser is so good, you would be foolish not to use it. My god, it's so good. It's so good to have it back. Oh my god, it's so good to have it back. And now we come up to the second Motherlode Guardian. I should probably stop calling it the Motherlode Guardian, because, like, it wasn't really the Motherlode, but, you know. Either way, the Kalinka Ruins Guardian is back. And here is where you can see that this boss is definitely scripted, because so many points he just gets invulnerable because he has to do what he has to do. My shining laser would rip him to shreds if that weren't the case, because, like, I want to use it now, but it won't hurt him. And I want to save a little bit of energy, and, oh, I can't hurt him now, so he's doing his other thing. I gotta wait for him to do his other stuff, and it's a very, very scripted fight, but it's a very easy one. And now I just wait for him to tire out, and then I destroy the orb for good. Just like last time. I don't know if their health bars get beefier. I would feel like the Manda Ruins and the Nino Ruins Guardians would get stronger. I mean, they feel it a little bit, but, you know, you've seen how the Shining Laser cut him to shreds as well. I don't know if they're the same health or whatever. Because I always wonder, what would the bosses be like if I had a maxed out Mega Buster early in the game? How long would it take to destroy Tronbon's Crabbot? How long would it take to destroy Teasel's... Well, I had max power at that point, but... How long would it take to destroy the giant mammoth protecting Sera's stasis field? I don't know. I'm sure people who have a Game Shark could figure that stuff out. Oh, there is easy mode, actually. Easy mode, you get a buster part that increases everything. It increases attack, range, rapid, energy. But I've never played the whole game on easy mode yet, so I should probably try that out later. That'd be interesting to see how quickly I can decimate Tron and everyone else. But yeah, this hallway's kind of annoying when you actually do get to the final doorway, because if you save the game at the final doorway and then you decide, like, I want to go back to Terra and look for all the items I missed, do all the side quests I didn't touch, you know, all that stuff, then you have to go through these hallways again. Like, by the time you reach the final doorway where the final boss is, you have to go through all these hallways where the bosses and stuff were all over again, and it takes, like, 3 or 4 minutes walking from final boss room to launch pod that takes us to Terra again, you know? Just like, Jesus! Why couldn't the launch pod be up ahead? Why does it have to be here? My god. Like, Data was at the entrance of this house. We could have saved with him and got our energy back. He refills your health. Why couldn't the shuttle pod be closer to the thing? I mean, my god. There's just too many winding hallways. Why wasn't it just, like, 4 doors? Like, you just went into the door and there was the boss. That was it. Just 4 rooms in one circular area or something, you know? That'd have been great. Just make it like Mega Man... all the other Mega Man games, really. Just make it where, you know, there's capsules and you jump in them and then boom, you're in the boss room and that's it. It would save so much time, rather than these boring hallways that just drag on and go on forever. And yes, 3 to 4 minutes is forever. I shouldn't have to walk that way just to get back to the Earth when I'm at the final boss door, you know? Final dungeon level design matters to me, damn it. When I was at Mega Man Juno in Legends 1, it didn't take long to get back home to the main of Catalox Island. It was quick, it was easy. But either way. Folks, that is Elysium. That is everything that this dungeon has to offer. We took out the boss rush, and now we're heading off to Mistress Sera and the very end of the game, the very end of the Legends series. So we're about to end things once and for all. See you in the finale of Part 24.